Wow. And this time we're here with Nicole Dieker with her, well, she is her band, which is Hello to the Future. Mm-hmm. I said that already.
Hello the Future.
Hello the Future. No
Close
two.
enough.
No two. Close enough. And how long have you been, well, is this all you do? As a folk artist, is this all you do?
As an independent musician, since May, this has been my full-time job, combining with a bit of project management consulting. But I am, at this point, self-employed.
And I bet you like that so far.
It's very interesting. I think it's the most exciting thing I've ever done, honestly.
Well, I'm guessing you're pretty good. So what else have you done?
I've had a number of jobs. I've been an executive assistant, I've been a project manager, I've been a telemarketer, I've been an insurance company temp worker. I did a lot of filing for that one. I've been a dog walker and a house sitter. I've been a waitress in just about every kind of food service you could imagine, and so, anyway, I've done a lot of other things.
So this is a lot better. And we were just talking about you're more of a nerd folk than traditional folk. So what are the differences? How would you define traditional folk?
From what I understand, I mean, there's a range. Folk, like many other genres of music, has a range. And on one end, you have sort of the music people have been singing since the 1950s, right? And you've got that's like old school folk. You get the songs that people can sing along to during the Dead Dog Filks, for example. You get the songs everyone knows. You start getting closer, you start getting the parody songs, like the parody of Love Shack that's about Star Trek that I can't remember. You get things like that. And my music fits in with folk because it's acoustic, because it has nerd references, but it is not a parody, and it's all original, right? So.
Oh, so do you do your own writing?
I do on my own. I'm a singer-songwriter.
So you actually write all your own music?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I know, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a little crazy for folk.
Right. That's why I say I'm more on the nerd folk end, like Jonathan Colton, Marion Call, the Double Clicks, Molly Lewis, and that crowd.
Okay, so you've only been doing this since May, and...
Oh, no. I've been performing as Hello the Future for almost 3 years, but I only went full-time as Hello the Future this year in May.
Okay, and why the name?
Alright, so when I started this project, I didn't actually know what would come of it, right? And I didn't want to put my real name on it at that point because I was still working as a project manager and as an executive assistant, and just because the internet is forever, or at least it is till we replace all the servers with something else, I thought I wanted to have a band name instead of my own name as the top of this project, as the URL and the domain and all of that, right? So I chose Hello the Future for 2 reasons. One, because it tips you off that this is a geek act. I mean, you're not going to be, for example, a pop act or a country music act kind of thing. It is a geek act. It's got Future in the title. And I've got an 8-bit logo, right? Second reason was because I knew that when I started the project, which was, originally the project was that I was going to write a new song every week for a year. And when I started the project, I knew I'd be different by the end of it. And so I said, Hello the Future. And the third reason, this is a secret reason, is because anyone who looks at anything on the internet is by virtue of looking at it on the internet, looking at it from the future. So I was saying hello to all the people who are going to be looking at my website in the future.
Interesting. A song a week. So how's that going for you?
I did that for 100 consecutive weeks, and then I decided that I had fulfilled, and more than fulfilled, that goal, and I was ready to move on to some longer form projects.
I was going to say, a song a week's not easy.
No.
I don't write music, but I've written enough poetry to know that that's not easy.
It teaches you very quickly, though. I mean, it teaches you to hit done, to hit send. And some weeks it's not the best song in the world, and some weeks it really is a very good song. And the other thing, it wasn't I was starting from scratch every week. I'd be working on 3 or 4 songs at once, and every song would take about 4 or 5 weeks to write.
Well, that's true too, yeah. You have lots of projects going, and it's also a discipline factor that it teaches you.
Exactly.
Which you need as a writer. Mm-hmm. So, how many albums do you have?
I have, depending on how you count, I either have 4 or 5 or 6.
I count badly.
All right. Well, I'll explain why I either have 4 or 5 or 6. I have 4 of my own, 4 Hello the Future albums. They are Infinity Right Now, Sidekick and Other Songs, Hello the Future Gets Her Filk On at PhilCon, and Geek Girl EP. The fifth album is called Mink Car Cover, which is actually a group project that I put together with a number of musicians, including Devo Spice, who's here at this convention, including Marion Call and MC Frontalot and Hank Green and a ton of other people. We put together this project called Mink Car Cover, which is a full cover of They Might Be Giants' album Mink Car to benefit the FDNY Foundation. So that one counts as 5. 6 is an Instafilk album I did at Dragon Con last year called On the Last Day of the Con that I did with Alex Boyd. So technically I have 4 of my own, but I might have 5 or I might have 6, depending on how you count.
Depending on how you count. So I bet Dragon Con was an experience. I haven't been there yet.
Dragon Con is amazing, and it's also very, very crowded. I've been to both Dragon Con and San Diego Comic Con, and Dragon Con was the only one where I felt like I couldn't move because there were so many people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It felt less crowded than Comic Con.
Well, Comic Con also, I think, has a bigger venue. I mean, a larger room for all the people.
I don't know. I know a volunteer, and he told me the exhibit hall is 1 square mile, and I find that hard to believe.
No, it really is.
That's
it's
a
huge.
lot of area. 1 square mile?
Mm-hmm. They have a gigantic convention center out there.
Wow. It's like 7 minutes to run to the other side.
Right. Correct. Well, 4 minutes.
If you're in shape, it's 4.5 to 5. But most people are doing good to run a mile in 7.
Yes.
And I haven't run in a while. I don't know if I can do 7 minutes.
No, I don't. I walk, and I can do a mile in about 13 minutes walking. But yeah, I don't run.
Yeah, I know I can do that. Mm-hmm. That's not tough. Mm-hmm. The run, I don't know. But, okay, now, being geek, are your albums, obviously from the title, they sound themed, but are all the songs in the albums themed from, like, start to finish?
They are not, except for Geek Girl EP. Geek Girl EP is my newest album. It was part of a Kickstarter project to raise money for my first album with a band, which will actually be coming out in 2013. Geek Girl EP is a series of songs about female fandom characters, so in that case they're all linked. The other albums that I've put out they haven't had a real point of connection. I mean, the PhilCon album was recorded live at PhilCon, so that is a point of connection. But they're just a collection of songs I've put together.
And that you've written, too. They're all your original work.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be nice. So do you self-publish your albums, or do you, like, have a...
I mean, I run them through TuneCore and all of that, so I get other people to actually do the physical printing.
The physical work,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in a sense, you're like a self-publisher.
Sure. Yes. I am definitely a vanity press. I'm not working with a record label.
That's got to be interesting.
It's what a lot of independent musicians are doing right now.
So what do you do in your spare time at game cons?
At game cons, I sell CDs. I mean, that is
pretty
much
spare
what
time.
there isn't any. If you're not selling CDs and you're not talking to people and you're not promoting your work, I mean, game cons are where I get the bulk of my money, honestly.
I believe that to be true. So you don't play any games?
No. I mean, I would if I could, but the time in the merch room is too valuable, honestly.
Well, yeah, but it closes at 8.
It does close at 8, and then I get to go see the other performers perform after that. Because, you can't go to a convention and not see the other musicians. That would be
So she's
bad
only part
form.
geek.
You know what? I've got a deck of we didn't play test this at all in my bag. We could go have a game right now if you wanted. If you're asking what kind of games, it's a good game. I mean, what kind of games?
Where did you get that from?
I got that at the booth next to me. Have you ever played? We didn't play test this at all.
I don't think that's supposed to be out till November.
They're selling it, and I played it at someone else's house before, so it's been out for a while.
Maybe my distributor's wrong, or maybe my distributor doesn't get it until such a date.
Interesting.
I have to go look at it because I just forwarded that email to somebody else. I'm like,
yeah.
That's why I'm sitting.
It's a good game.
They do. I think that was Asmodee, and they usually do pretty good games. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
No, I mean, I've played, we go to house parties and things, so we play a lot of cards games.
See, I figured you as a role player.
RPG, like Final Fantasy RPG, absolutely.
No, I meant, okay. Yeah, I definitely see you, enjoying something like PAX or PAX.
Sure.
But I figured you to be almost? I could see you LARPing
I
and
have
enjoy.
LARPed. Oh no, I have LARPed and enjoyed it. I mean, if you give me a foam sword, they're always surprised that the 5'2" woman with the foam sword can actually kill people with the foam sword. We're talking metaphorical killing. It just means I hit them on the shoulder. This is for the record. I haven't actually killed anyone with
She
the foam sword.
lies. She's a redhead.
No, I do enjoy those. And I always, when I'm at Intervention Con, for example, I always LARP as part of my merch booth. So, that's because they have...
Costume and all?
TBD. I mean, when you do the zombie LARP, you really only have to wear the one piece to be a zombie, so...
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's true.
I have cosplayed, if you're asking that.
Oh, no, I wasn't, but it's nice to know.
But yeah, I mean, right now a lot of my gaming is sort of party card gaming. Cards Against Humanity, Flux, definitely,
You should have played last night.
I know, I should have. And
No,
yet-
I have all the decks here. Well, they're not
cool.
here now. They're at home. But last night I did Game with the Guests, and I got 14 Flux decks.
Oh, very cool.
But, so you're a card gaming person.
I do card games, yes.
Did you meet Andrew here?
Andrew,
Burkett.
I'm not sure. I'd have
Tall
to say.
guy, goatee, dark hair. He's probably 6'6".
Cool. Is he like long hair
He's
and a
that.
beard? No, you just said
No.
goatee.
Not long hair. It's wavy.
Okay. I don't know. I may have.
He's
I
got
can't say
he's
for sure.
got a game he's designing. It's glorified war. He's got a game he's designing. It's kind of fun. You probably
Very
like
cool. I probably will.
that. Gosh, so you're like not a competitive player, I would imagine.
Well, let's put it this way.
Okay, you might be. When I'm talking competitive, I'm thinking more towards Magic the Gathering.
Oh no, I'm not, and I never have. And someday I'd like to, but I've never really
Really?
been in enough. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons either, and I've always thought it would be a
You
fun
should
thing
get
to
in
do.
the game here.
I know.
Actually, if you want a unique experience while you're here, when you're resting tonight, but
Yes.
tomorrow when you're done with the show,
Yes.
you should find the Silvervine Game guys.
Okay.
Because they're all local to the area, and they premiered the game here 2 years ago.
Very cool.
And it is a really good system. Well, for example, what is your dream character for anything?
For like life, the universe, and everything. I mean,
Sure. If you could create a character,
if I could create a character, what's this character got to do? What kind of battle is
whatever
this character
you
gonna
want
be
it to do.
fighting?
What do you want it to do?
If I just were able to create a character, I'd be like, I'm going to create a magic person who plays music and also knows how to make enough food to like feed everyone in the world. Is this an attack character?
Good. There we go.
Okay, fine.
So, what?
So I'd
a
be
magical music person. So, what does your music do?
It makes people laugh.
See, you have a weapon right there, and
There you go. Okay.
you can make that character in their game.
Cool. So I can make some. Now, would I use this laugh for evil? Or would I use it to heal people?
You play the character. Wait, it's your power.
Okay.
Okay. Let's picture. Gosh, you've never played Marvel's game, but Magneto.
All right. Yeah.
Look at his power.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what he does in the comic books.
It's fair.
He does all kinds of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
He only has one power in the role-playing game. In the
Interesting.
original role-playing game.
Huh.
The rest of it is how you use your imagination to manipulate that power. So your music, defensively, could be you create so much laughter that they can't attack you.
That's very interesting. It reminds me of.
It's even better if you can direct the music.
Mm-hmm. There's a character with that power class in a webcomic called Earthworld. So, and I think, is Rob Balder going to be here at this con? I thought I saw his name somewhere online, but I don't think I've seen him. But anyway, neither here nor there. But what I mean to say is that actually would make sense. You can use it as defense, you can use it to heal people, because laughter is the best medicine. And you can probably use it to attack if you cause someone to laugh so hard they, for example, fall on their own swords. Not that we would recommend falling on your own swords, but
Well, it would be a little bit tougher as an offensive power, but
Yeah, it would be tough. But
I mean, you can use it offensively by making them laugh and making it easier for the other people in your party to hit them,
this is true. Defense down 2 points or something.
or something, and then they can actually. Your character would probably be very spiritual in the game, and then you would use that spiritual stuff to pick the spiritual powers that allow you to influence other people.
Very cool.
They spend a lot of time on it. Like one of our guys made a mass swarm hive mind type of thing. That as long as they're all they can go places, but they're weaker, and every worm is 1 hit point. And he's got
Oh, cool.
200 worms, and it moves around, it can't talk, and that part's really cool. It actually creeps out one of the game designers. He's like, that character just hurts me. He's like,
worms are kind of creepy.
It makes him cringe. I laugh. I'm like, I think it's really kind of neat, and I think it's just the way you envision it. I kind of think of something Scooby-Doo-ish.
Oh, sure. And
he's like, you're just not right in the head. But I mean, my character. I'm like, what are you going to do with your character? I don't know. I think I'm going to name him Will. Will what? Will. Powers.
Nice.
There's my character.
Very cool.
So I named Will Powers, and his powers work off of believing.
Oh, awesome.
He's a drunken monk that doesn't drink wine.
What does he drink?
Believed wine.
That is interesting. That you could write a story from.
Not only does he believe the wine, he makes other people believe the wine by believing the wine.
That's amazing.
The character is a lot of fun to play, and it really is a lot of stupid luck, because it's like, okay, you need to do this. He goes, you did this. Okay, this person takes a look at your wine, drinks it, and believes everything you say.
Wow.
So the game, I mean, the Silvervine game is truly role-playing because it encourages you to express, which a lot of role-playing games missing. There's a fair amount of, combat and stuff, and but even there, when you get into combat, okay, you rolled really well. Describe the situation. So then the character gets to do, I do 25 backflips, yada, yada, yada. So I think you would, if you want a rare experience while you're here, I would recommend that over anything else. I mean, Dungeons & Dragons, you can do anything.
Sure.
Silverline games, you can't really do everywhere, but once you pick it up, you're gonna want to play it with your friends back home.
Oh, that's really cool.
Other rare experiences here.
Well, there's the Velveeta fountain. I heard
that actually is scary to me. I mean, but I'm a food snob. I mean, I pretty much cook everything from scratch.
Oh, nice. That's fantastic.
It helps a lot. And my wife works third shift, so it kind of messed up cooking for me.
Oh, sure.
So I started cooking everything from scratch. We make all our breads from scratch, gravies.
Oh, nice.
We have carved meats 3 nights a week.
That's really great.
It helps.
Yeah.
And it helps that it's appreciated, and, but Velveeta and I don't get along.
I don't want to eat from the Velveeta fountain.
It'll look cool.
I mean,
it will look cool.
That is one way to get consars, is what it's going to be.
I was annoyed that it wasn't chocolate.
It's
I told her.
I mean, when it's funded by Gutbuster Games, is that what it's called? Or Gut Busting Games?
Gut Busting.
Gut Busting Games. I mean, of course, it's going to be Velveeta fountain. Maybe a Hershey fountain? Maybe. But
no, actually, you can't use Hershey.
It won't melt correctly?
Correct. They actually, it's a special chocolate.
Wasn't Hershey's the one that they made for military people? Because it wouldn't melt?
It was originally, yeah. There's Hershey's adds something to it. My dad had Hershey's chocolate bars in Korea from World War I.
Wow.
They'd boil them for an hour and they couldn't get them to melt.
Yep.
They used it. The bar was actually about the size of a hockey puck, and it was round like that. They used them as hockey pucks in the Army for game time.
Well, didn't it also, I think I heard this correctly, they put enough bad taste in there that you wouldn't eat it unless you really needed it?
I don't...
Or am I thinking something else?
No, there is something in the Hershey's chocolate, because it has a different taste to it. But there's not enough that they have to list it as an ingredient.
Right.
There's something medicine-y to it. I can't...
Right.
It's like, I don't think it's cinnamon. I don't think it's ginger.
I don't know what
but I think there's a spice in it. And it changes the melting compound. It could be, I mean, they also add more sugar to it because when you do go to melt it, it's harder to melt and it's more temperature sensitive. Which means there's not enough fat content in it in comparison to regular chocolate. Because it looks like voicemail. So are you going to write a Con on the Cob Philp while you're here?
Am I going to write a Con on the Cob? No, but I am going to write an Insta-Philp tomorrow during my show about banjos versus ukuleles, which is a penance. All right, so I was on this podcast the other week, and during the podcast, somebody asked me if I played a banjo, and I said, no, I play a ukulele, and they're much the same thing. And so then one of my fans wrote me, he's like, you know that banjos and ukuleles are not at all the same. I'm like, they're stringed instruments, they have the strings, you know. I mean, it's not like saying a flute and the ukulele are the same thing, because they're totally not the same thing. But then he told me I had to write a banjo versus ukulele Instafil as penance for saying that banjos and ukuleles were the same thing. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. And maybe I can throw in the words con on the cob into that Instafil so that they, you know, but I'm not going to do 2 Instafils. I have too much good music that I don't want to, you know, throw in a bunch of stuff that isn't prepared, unrehearsed. Do you really want to con on the cob Instafil? Because I could do it.
I think Andy would like it. It doesn't
Andy
matter
would
to
like
me.
it. Oh, Andy's a good person. Maybe I should write one just for Andy. Will he be at the show?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
it's his con, so he's everywhere.
This is true.
Like, I'm not interviewing him this week.
Because he's everywhere.
I'm actually interviewing him on the way to CharCon next week.
Oh, nice. So it's CharCon.
Charleston, West Virginia.
Nice.
Oh, actually, that's the next thing I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of, you know, I haven't checked on it in a couple of years. There used to be, and there may still be, a Folk Fest in Southern Ohio.
Ohio Valley Folk Festival. That is 2 weeks from now. It is in Columbus. It's outside of Columbus, actually, and I'm totally
Yeah,
going.
it's southeast of Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally going.
I've been wanting to go
Booked
for a
it.
few years, and
Isn't it? It's like in Worthington or something?
I don't know. They never. Well, I don't remember the city, but they never return my emails. I'm like, I want to come down and cover your show.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think you just have to buy a pass. Is what you have to do.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any press, as far as I know.
A lot of small shows don't.
Yeah.
I tend to get my way though.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's 2 weeks out, so you know, give them another call or something.
I will.
Cool.
But so you are going there.
Yep.
And what are your other aspirations? Do they have platinum folk fests?
Platinum Folk Fest.
Platinum. Do they have platinum folk albums? Which, I mean, CDs now.
I suppose if a Filk album went platinum, then it would be a platinum Filk album. But I don't know.
I wasn't looking at it quite like that.
I mean, I track my success. You know, do I make more money than I spent this month? Good job. Do I not?
So her success is not about the quality of her music, people. It's about what she spends.
I mean, no. Let's put it this way, all right? And this is going to sound like the most idiotic and conceited thing I've ever said in a podcast, but I know my music is good. I have played enough shows that I know the material. And you gradually, as you write new songs, you let the worser ones fall away, right? And all that.
Well, you definitely have a good voice. I haven't even heard you sing it in a concert yet, and I know it's a good voice.
Well, thank you. But what I mean to say is, I have some very good material. The question for me right now as an independent musician with a small business is expanding my reach, all right? So that is part of the reason why I flew out from Los Angeles to Ohio, because Diva Spy said, come out to Con of the Cob, it'll be a good way to meet a bunch of new people, to introduce them to my music, to sell some CDs, right? And, I could write songs just to write songs, right? And I'm always working to make my material better. But as a small business owner, my success is, am I actually making this business work? So there you go. That answers that question.
In a very long way.
Yes, well, you had to get through 2 choruses and a bridge before you get to the end, so.
This is true. This is true. Gosh. What do you want to add?
What do I want to add to the podcast? If you type Below the Future into Google or into Bing, if you have to, you can find my YouTube, you can find my Tumblr. I love Tumblr. You can find my Twitter, you can find my website. Pick one of those and start following it, because the most interesting thing, of course, I'm not going to be in Con of the Cob forever. I'm going to be in Con of the Cob for like 2 more days, right? Then we're done. So you should hang out with me on the Twitters, or on the Facebook, or on the Tumblrs, or on the YouTubes, because hanging out with people is like the most fun part of getting to do this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
Yeah.
I mean, hanging out in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, hanging out, having the community at the cons is a totally different thing than what you just described.
But yeah, having the online community helping on board. Yeah.
Why no likes on Facebook?
Why no likes on Facebook? What do you mean?
You didn't mention it.
I didn't like Con on the Cob on Facebook?
No. Why no likes for liking you on Facebook?
Why do I not like Facebook? I didn't mention Facebook. I mean, Facebook is not my favorite of the social medias. I think its interface is a bit...
Do you have a Hello to the Future, or Hello...
I do have a Hello the Future Facebook page.
Okay. So they can like it.
Yes. I think as a way to have conversations, Facebook is less useful than Twitter. Twitter is it's in a way to have immediate conversations with people and to watch it sort of unfold. Facebook, you post something on Facebook, first you get like 7, 8 likes, right? And then you get maybe 1 comment, right? But if you actually if you're lucky, right? But if you want to have a conversation, you know, the person who's commented it has already probably moved on to some other thing. Anyway, what I mean to say is I will talk to you on Facebook, but I'll talk to you faster on Twitter.
I like her. I am not a Facebook fan. I do like Google Plus a lot, actually, in comparison. I don't use it nearly as much, though.
I always forget Google Plus exists, honestly.
I don't really forget it exists. I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, and you've been doing it so long, and it's like, man, I've already got this built up.
Yeah, why add another one? I mean, I don't have a Pinterest for the same reason.
I have a Pinterest, but my Pinterest is more for like, hey, this guy's made really something cool with minis. You know, or check out this piece of terrain.
That's true.
I don't post anything to Pinterest.
Got it.
It's just there for me to share stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Because and even most of that stuff's shared with me already. So it's just a matter of, okay, guys, take a look at this because this deserves a look.
Awesome.
That type of thing.
Very
But
nice.
so, well, you guys aren't going to get this in time, but she's performing tomorrow.
I am performing tomorrow. There will probably be YouTube videos of it afterwards, and if you missed that performance, you can watch other of my performances on
Well,
YouTube.
you can find her in Southern Ohio
Exactly.
in 2 weeks,
In 2 weeks, too.
which is Halloween weekend.
I suppose it is. That means I'll have to put my costume and take it with me.
Oh, I'm there. I've never been. I actually really want to go there because next year I want to start a radio show. I mean,
awesome.
if my brother gets his station back up, is the real way to look at it, I guess. For about 2 years now, I wanted to do a filk show.
Very cool.
Where I bring on various filk guests and we play their music for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I get to drill them about what in the world were they thinking. I think it'll be fun.
I think that sounds excellent.
Well, you would love it.
Yeah, I'd have a great time.
Some people will probably get mad at me, but
I don't care. You can drill me. I mean, if you hear my show tomorrow and you come back and you're like, what were you thinking?
Well, I'm hoping to film it.
Good. Yeah, see, there you go. That's why it's going to be on YouTube, because you're going to film it. So, I hold you responsible.
No pressure. But okay. Thanks, gamers.
Thank you.
Geeks and Freaks. Matt Lemke and Nicole Dieker from Hudson, Ohio, Con on the Cob, 2012, 10-12, 2012. Have fun. Come next year.